And good morning. Already Wednesday as we join together once again. Right now, 72. Here's your waking up. We'll get to 91 for high, but that heat index will tap 99 before the day is out this afternoon. If you joined us yesterday afternoon, you did see that we had some severe weather that came about. We had a severe thunderstorm for Lauderdale, and we also had Neshoba County and also Newton County and the areas of Leake and Atala that came out yesterday afternoon. Some heavy rain came through. A lot of lightning. A few folks were without power for a while. We look to have some more severe thunderstorms this afternoon. Most likely, it will fall after 3 o'clock. Here's what we're looking at as you wake up. Kind of plan your day of where this area will be as we pull up Meridian Honda radar. That's what we've got. Pretty much the entire central portion of Mississippi, only the Delta not included in this extreme portion there, but from Louisiana back over to southern Alabama. As we go on this to get a closer look at our area, this will come right across here as we go north, and this will be right at the Kentucky Fried Chicken, right along that line there where the hospital is in Macon, Mississippi. All of this, Geiger, Alabama, Gainesville, y'all are included in this, all of Lauderdale, and this takes in all of Winston County as well, just barely missing Mississippi State. Y'all will be outside of the level 1 for severe weather this afternoon. It goes all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast there. Biloxi included this, Highway 90, if you're going to be in that area. This is this afternoon, most likely after 3 o'clock. Now, the National Weather Service tells us anytime from 12 until about 9 p.m., I think is the exact time on that. We'll get closer on that, but it starts around noon. Expect it 3 o'clock-ish. We'll be here to tell you about it, and we'll go live should the weather turn bad. Well, it's been 24 hours since we last had a morning show. A lot has gone on since then as we'll go over this. I found this interesting because it is expensive. How many of us, and this happened to me before I knew what had happened, and I was always warned, yeah. But my many years in radio, when I first started out, I wore headphones, and it did affect how well I could hear. That last 8-9 years, I just quit wearing them because it bothered me. I couldn't hear as well. But the FDA is starting to roll out. This is going to be beginning in October. As you all know, right now you have to go to a doctor to get hearing aids to be fitted. And they can be over about $5,000 for this. But they're going to start a more affordable thing coming soon where you can buy it online to where it's over the counter. You don't have to go to a doctor if you've got marginal, a little bit of a hearing loss, to make it more affordable for folks. Step in the right direction on that. Read more about that. I'll share that story on our Facebook page so you can see that. But for a lot of people, that's going to be good. It'll cut back on that expensive cost. As we all know, we're at a point in America right now, just because you have medical insurance doesn't mean anything, does it? A deductible of $8,000 to $10,000 means absolutely nothing to the common person. You're still paying $500, $600, $700 a month for that. And then you've got to come out of pocket with all that other. It's sad the state that we're in when it comes to medical insurance. We thought at one time that would be fixed. In the end, no one really had a plan when they had an opportunity to fix it, did they? Remember those folks that talked? Remember that. What happened overnight? As we start out, we did have some reports of shots fired last night. The 1900 block of 24th Avenue. There's a lot going on 24th Avenue if you haven't paid attention to that. We'll show this, and then we'll come back here in a little bit at 8 o'clock and go deeper in detail about all of this of what goes on in these overnight hours. But as we pull up our map this morning to take a look at where things are happening, this 1900 block right along in here, here's 20th Street. In this area right in here is where shots were heard. Several of them. Here's, just to give you a view of this, this is Anderson's Hospital. This would be like you're headed up to North Hill Street, leaving the hospitals, hanging that right. Got Mr. Discount Drug sitting here. And you go due north, and boom, we're right up here at this intersection here. A lot of this before you get to the split at Poplar Springs Drive. This area right in here wasn't known exactly where, but somewhere right in there, shots were reported heard once again overnight. A lot of that, isn't it? We do have a burglary, I think is the word to report this, where South Frontage Road. Let's look at this. At least 2 stores I'm hearing at this point. It could be more. I haven't gotten all the details from the Meridian Police Department, but if you were on South Frontage Road, getting ready to go up the hill to Walmart. Let's take a look at this picture right here. At least two businesses, and of course on this side over here is New South Ford. This would be right here going up. Here's the road up to Walmart. At least two businesses here, I believe Verizon and possibly a vape shop, were hit by vandals last night, broken into. I don't know what they got, but I think they gained access through a window. We'll talk to the Meridian Police Department to get more about this here in just a little bit. These things happen in these overnight hours. They take bricks and things and bust out windows, and they've got it timed as to how long they will be in. I think we've had this happen several times over the last 3 to 4 days. Just goes on. Yeah, we had the AT&T store hit on Highway 39 either, on Monday night? Was that it? So most likely, you hate to go out on a limb there, but I wouldn't be shocked if I were told it was the same person that's done this in each location. Alarms do what they can. Notify police. It notifies the business owner that something's going on. Be surprised one day when they find a German Shepherd waiting, wouldn't they? That does happen a lot there. As we look here, what else have I got? Oh, we had somebody else broken into. This was somebody's home, an apartment right off of Highway 39. You go past EMEPA. We see a lot of that in this area there, north of there, up near where Walmart is in those areas there, back off in there. We had a home, a busted window. Somebody gained access to the house. Now, I don't know whether they got anything in the end, but I do know that their home was damaged. Bothers me, and it should you too. Let's see some other things. Now, I want to go into, let me go over here. This was interesting, to say the least. Well, I got several texts of what is going on 24th, as I mentioned. This would be just north of the hospitals. Let's pull up from sammedia.network. This was the story that a car was driving erratically. Well, let's pull this up. Right here is the Dollar General on 24th Avenue. Seems as though we don't know what caused this issue, but we can only assume that the female must have been mad at someone. There was a male involved that was being chased by a car. Yes, sir, Bob. She was so mad she drove through several yards. She took out a fence. She hit a car. Fender was dragging, lost part of her bumper, and he was still running with her after him with the car yesterday. Not making this up. That really happened. It was a lot of witnesses as to what happened. Is the word mayhem? I think I'm close to the right word on that. Believe it or not, she did escape. Drove right out of town. They're looking for her. I think they know who she is. But as I sat here and thought, boy, if I rolled through a red light, I'd get busted right there, wouldn't you? I don't have that kind of luck. Be able to chase somebody through several yards, hit cars, raise Cain, take out a fence. We don't know who the gentleman is. He's happy wherever he is that he got away. He was uninjured from what we understand. They need to get him in the NFL, I guess. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I don't think I want to know what he made her so mad about, do y'all? Whew. But things that go on there in the middle of the day. That was one of them that happened here in the Meridian area yesterday. We'll talk about more shots fired and things of that nature. We had traffic backed up over by Crossroads near where McDonald's is there at the red light there as you come across. What happened? Let me show you a picture of this. It just happens. It wasn't intentional. Let me blow this up where you get a good look at this. This was the scene there, a gas tanker. Fortunately, it was empty. But as you came across, as you can tell, that road takes a little bit of a dip. The truck bottomed out, the trailer did. Had to set their traffic blocked until they could get wreckers there to pull him back across to get off of that. No word yet what he was after. Maybe he was wanting a steak. Never know. But that's a bad feeling when something like that happens. There was a few folks that got their travel interrupted yesterday afternoon. The Meridian Police Department's been busy on this. Did you see the press release we put out that happened yesterday of an arrest? They did. Good job to the Meridian Police Department as they arrested someone for murder. First female that I'm aware of that's been arrested for murder in Meridian this year. As we look at this, And if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Alyssa Chanel Barnes has been arrested for the murder of DeMarco Jimerson, who was 31. This happened not long ago, just a few weeks back. It would be on the 6th, about 2 weeks ago, on State Boulevard. He was shot in the chest multiple times. Her bond has been set at $300,000. Horrible, horrible situation on that. Hopefully, we'll find out more on that. Lots of other stories we're going to share with you that went on behind the scenes yesterday in our little area there to fill you in on all of that. No word yet as to what has happened in Oxford, Mississippi. Fire investigators are still looking at this as the oldest church burned, built in 1846. I brought it up when it happened, but they still don't know. They're still investigating that. As we go to Scott County, the Sheriff's Department, let me pull this up over. This is just west of us. You go through Newton, next county over, Scott County, somebody had to go and rob the Dollar General. As we go to the Sheriff's Department page there, Scott County, 3 people have been arrested in connection with this on Highway 35 North, armed robbery. They worked hard to solve the case there, and there's 3 of them here, as you will see, that were involved in this. All ages, males and females involved in that. Crime, crime, crime. Why some people think that it's a good idea to do that. As we look to our next story, Hattiesburg. I go back to Facebook. Hattiesburg Police Department, just due south of here. A lot of you travel down on weekends, go eat, buy things from Hattiesburg, USM. A lot of people go there. But they're warning you if you're in the Hattiesburg area. And again, I tell you, if it happens in Hattiesburg, it will happen in Meridian. It will happen in Newton and Jackson. It'll happen on the edge of Alabama there. If you're in Livingston, it can happen anywhere, to where if you're shopping, you're going along with your cart. And ladies, I tell you more about this. It's not, okay, I guess there are some men that carry them in purses. I guess I have to start getting that in my head that is a popular thing. But if you're in a grocery store and you've got your purse there and you lean over here to pick up some cabbage or some apples or some oranges, they're snatching purses and wallets quickly in the Hattiesburg area. What is the answer to that? Something small, something you put in your pocket. You might not need to carry your whole purse in. Lock that in your trunk. Put it somewhere. Don't carry it with you to town. But it's starting to be a problem there in Hattiesburg. If it happens there, it makes its way here. Y'all just be on the lookout for this. We don't need that to happen to y'all. You work hard Monday through Friday, don't you? A lot of you work weekends for overtime to earn that money. You don't want anybody taking it from you. Thought we'd share that. We hate to report this Flowood. There was a person that was running from the law. In the end, he wouldn't have a driver's license. He wouldn't have insurance. One of the reasons he was running from the law, they cornered him. Police officers got out with a gun, demanded him get out of his car. What do you think he did? Floorboarded it. Ran through a red light and killed a Vicksburg man that was on a motorcycle. Lost his life. He was 47 years old. The man's been charged now with fleeing, and that's just flat-out murder, isn't it? No other way to put that. Stephen Pearson is the victim from Vicksburg. We pass along condolences to his family. It's about twice that innocent people in that area has been killed by people trying to get away from the law. All you have to do is pull over. We also have another person that, as we talk about Dollar Generals, they seem to be the quick place for criminals to go. Lowndes County is where we go next. Another man has been arrested. But this was a plot on this one to where he was a cashier involved with someone coming in to rob. He even let him hit him in the head. He's been arrested. He's 20 years old in connection with that. Never ceases to amaze you of what people will do. We'll go to Tupelo next. 2 teenagers were injured in a park. They were playing drive-by shooting. One was grazed, another more serious. He's in the hospital. A few blocks later, police did get in pursuit. They arrested 2 individuals for that. Was it targeted? We don't know. They are looking into that as we look at this. Do y'all remember a few months back? Well, actually, it's been more than a few months. It was January of this year. As we go down, we go south of Meridian, we get to Brookhaven, Mississippi. You know, that's where they have the big Sam's distribution center or Walmart distribution center, however you want to word that. But it was a FedEx guy out of Louisiana, right across the line, that was delivering a package in Brookhaven. A couple, I think it was a father and son, if I remember correctly. that decided that it was, and again, it was a rental van. As we all know, that sometimes when they're shorthanded or something's broke, they have to go rent a van to deliver packages. Kind of obvious who he was, but they thought he was up to something else, tried to block the road, shot at the guy. They didn't hit him, but they did put bullet holes in the van. This is awaiting to go to the grand jury as to what they're going to do to these two individuals. Charges are pending. Something could happen with this case. Never fire a gun for no reason. Just because somebody comes through your neighborhood doesn't make them guilty of anything. This guy was trying to make his living. Looks bad for Mississippi all the way around. I'm sure it scared him. The bullet happened. They've got the evidence. We step across the Louisiana line on this one, Lake Charles, Louisiana. This makes, if I am not mistaken, number 11, I think, in the United States so far this summer. The 11th child has died from heat exhaustion across America. This was a 6-month-old left in a car as the mother went shopping. She's been arrested. Happened this past Sunday there in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Memphis, Tennessee. What drives people to where they want to argue and hurt one another, especially a husband and spouse, husband and wife? I said that wrong, didn't I? But they do that. They get mad at one another. Memphis, Tennessee. Husband tore up some things of his wife's in her purse. She was mad about it. She was sitting in a chair. He grabbed a baseball bat. She did her best to protect herself with her elbows. He's been arrested, carted off to jail. Memphis. Really? Can an argument really escalate to that, to where you want to hit somebody? Shocks me. And big news this morning as you're waking up, this is the another signal that is circulating, and they should pay close attention to this in Washington, D.C., and everybody that what is, well, called a rhino, a Republic in name only. Liz Cheney is out. No word yet as to what Kevin Costner is going to do with his Liz shirt. I guess he could use it to wax his car, dry that off, or take the wax off the car. I'm not real sure what he'll do with it, but he's got his very own one-of-a-kind shirt there because nobody else wants it. She's out. Sarah Palin has progressed to the next round. I had to read up on this because I don't know a lot about Alaska and how their politics works, but apparently it's not a vote for vote like we do in Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama, to where we go in and you take one out. They go in and you vote, and then the top people in that progress to the end in November. Sarah Palin has made it, and of course, you know, that other lady there that was against Trump is in that. She will face it in November. Most likely she won't be reelected. Liz Cheney feels it. She's upset, and so is her daddy. Kevin Costner. Did I bring that up? Can't believe he did that. But that's a quick look at some headlines across America. Now, we're going to go further into all of this beginning at 8 o'clock when we go live on TV. We want you to be a part of it. Fox 30 is the channel. You can watch us right here as well. Share the page. It gets more people because we track weather. We let you know when things like that happen. If something happens in our community, around the nation, that we feel that you should know, we go with it. We let you know. Follow us so you're on top of things as well as we are. And the key to all of this is you. That's how I get my information. I can't get it any other way. As you send in reports of what you saw, we notify authorities and get the rest of the story of what we can get from them. Can't do it without y'all. Remember that. So much more to come. Don't rush off. We're going to look at the weather next. Bad weather that's on the way. That's coming up next.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. Welcome back. As I had my glasses on to take a look at this, we'll get this posted in just a moment. I just got the pictures in from South Frontage Road. And as I mentioned, we had a robbery last night. And I call it that because we had some folks break into a store that didn't belong. We've got the vape shop there in that strip and also the Verizon store. I got pictures that we'll share these here in just a moment. We'll get those loaded onto the page as they busted out windows to gain access to the stores. Hopefully, the Meridian Police Department will have cameras, some video footage from all of this. Roll those cameras. Make sure you got those going to catch our criminals. That happened last night here in Meridian, Mississippi, somewhere around 2 a.m. So if you were out getting off work or whatever the case may be and passing in that general direction, notify police. As I've mentioned before so many times, people turn their head and go, well, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be a part of that. When there's something simple, they'll call quickly to tell what they know. But when it comes to crime, they're reluctant to tell. If you know it, tell it. Let's make people pay for what they do that is wrong if you saw something. Can't guarantee anybody was out, but if you did, make sure to let somebody know. All right, let's talk about weather this morning. Let's first go back and go over and take a look at radar as we go back to this to let you know what is going on with severe weather today. This is what our map looks like. We showed this early on with this. Here we are. This is the severe weather that's going to roll across the area today. And let's double check, make sure we don't have more of this tomorrow. As we turn this, here's what is going to happen on Thursday. It's going to be South Mississippi, right there at Laurel, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the Meridian area, Jackson, and northward will be okay. But look at this, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, that's on Thursday. Let's check out Friday just to make sure we don't have any more severe weather coming. And it looks as though it gets out of the area by then. Light chances of light rain. A level 1 will be up here in Kansas and on up into Iowa. That's the outlook on that. So that's good news. And let's look at where we got some showers in the state right now. There's a lot of it. Y'all see this? North of us here as we go right past Kemper. We get up here in Winston County. We get into Macon area and just south of Stark Vegas, West Point. And look at this mess that we've got at Water Valley up here in the Mississippi Delta. Oxford, it's pouring rain if you've got to be there for any reason this morning. This is a serious thunderboomer here northwest of Highway 45 as we get into this northwest corner here of Noxubee County. Y'all be careful. Louisville, if you're traveling Highway 14 between the two, if you work there, travel back and forth, 2-lane road, we want you to be extra careful this morning. All right, let's get deeper into the forecast and find out what the National Weather Service tells us is going to go on with all this today. Let's get into it now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back for our record highs, our record lows, it was 22 years ago today. In 2000, we had a record 103 degrees. Wasn't that warm? Woo. Back in 04, not all that long ago, but I guess it is, 54 degrees was the record low set. 54 degrees. I bet that felt good that morning. Can't remember, but I'll take your word for it. Showers possible today. And as we're seeing here on radar this morning, the northern portion of the state, Columbus, Greenwood, is expected to get a little bit worse weather as we look at that. There it is. Lighter as we get down in these areas. But 91 expected for today, 94 over at Vicksburg, 95 in that area there. As we cut across to Bama, about 88 is expected the high there in Livingston, Demopolis, and Tuscaloosa. Makes it to about 85. Cooler in Birmingham with that high of 84. And look where this rain is going to be coming, as we showed you up here in the northern part of the state. 76 at Hamilton, Alabama. So we're hoping that bad weather will remain north of us today. Got our fingers crossed. As we look at the heat index, now we're going to go on down to Jasper County and let y'all know it'll be warm. The Meridian area, Newton, Philadelphia, Kemper, all of this up to Winston. We're looking at a heat index of about 99 today. 105, this little strip from Laurel to Yazoo, and then Jackson down to Hattiesburg, 110 or better. Y'all be prepared. It's going to be, by golly, hot. No other way to word it. This is our risk. They've tweaked this just a little bit to 2 to 7 p.m. this afternoon is what we're looking at in our area. So be prepared that drive home, you could get into some severe weather. We hope that it will remain north of us, but we do have this chance of this drifting down 2 to 7 p.m. tonight. We'll watch it very carefully there as it comes down and comes across us. This is tomorrow as we looked at that southern portion of the state down to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Now, Alabama, this is it. Severe weather from Demopolis, Selma, those areas there, and southward. As we look at what's going to happen over the next 6 to 10 days, a cool front making its ways. We only have that 99 heat index today. Cooler weather on the way from Texas for a little while. I like the sound of that. Now let's go ahead and look at our outlook. Now the temperature has risen just a little bit as we look to Friday. We had expected maybe 84 there, but tomorrow only 85. Isn't that good? Now today we've got that 70% chance of showers. As the National Weather Service tells us, severe weather could happen 2 to 7. Most likely that rain will hit right around 3 o'clock. That's getting to where you're getting off and going home. High of about 91, heat index 99 once again. Tonight, we get down to a low right at 70 is going to be the low. Tomorrow, only a high of near 85. Great weather. But there's rain in the forecast as we have a 70% chance of showers. It should show up after lunch tomorrow. Around 1 is what we're thinking. Friday, a high of 86, still cool in comparison as we get a 50% chance from the National Weather Service. My radar system at this point, giving it a little bit more chance of those showers. It can change now. We won't hold you steady on this, but we got a good chance of rain on Friday there. But areas of sunshine as well. So it'll be hit and miss. As we go into the weekend, Saturday 60%, Sunday 50%, and it remains in the forecast all the way through Tuesday. Let's go ahead and look. Oh, not out of the forecast, all the way to August 31st. On Wednesday of next week, 84, Thursday 84. Cool, isn't it? Never getting out of the 80s for next week. I don't think any of us will go to complaining about any of that. That sounds good. Now, as we look at what's happening in the tropics this morning, still that 20% chance. This will update around 8 o'clock. We'll find out if this becomes more as we look at the tropic from the National Hurricane Center. Watch it closely, let you know as we track this storm as it heads toward the Gulf. Right now, it looks like it wants to go toward Texas, coming out of Mexico. This is the fishing outlook. Best times for today, the 17th, as you'll be able to hit the water today, 6 p.m. this afternoon till about 8 o'clock, right there at dark. As that rain most likely moves out, fish will go to biting. The wind's going to be light and variable, becoming 5 to 10 today as we give you that forecast. We're an hour and 1 minute away from going live with Scotty Ray and Candace. Won't you join us? Sure would appreciate that. Come back and join us. We'll all learn something together. We appreciate your comments. Nancy Skinner, how are you doing? Good morning from Collinsville. Glad to see you there. Lorando, how are you today? Franklin, Tennessee, watching this morning. Battlefield, Stephen Wanda McKinney, appreciate y'all. Sandy Johnson is there. So many of you. We appreciate it. Can't do it without you. Again, we'll be back in roughly 1 hour and go live with the latest that we have, what's going on in our area and around the nation. All coming your way here from the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all. We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: